Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tim Spencer from the Rural Survival Show. I'm recording this video on Sunday, the 4th day of September in the year of our Lord 2022. This is an op-ed piece only. Do not consider it as financial advice. Okay, legal stuff's out of the way. All right, folks, I've been having something kind of weighing heavy on my heart. You guys might think it's silly, and if you do, I'm sorry. Watch 5 minutes of it. You don't want to hear what I've got to say, just shut it off. However, if you like it, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. This first time you ever watch this show, might want to try subscribing. It'd be great. I think we already have 196 on YouTube, and I believe it's 60 or 70 something on Rumble. So you won't be in bad company. Anyway, folks, the reason I'm coming to you today is because I've had something weighing on my heart. And even though a lot of the things I'm going to talk about will seem obvious to many people, there's some people that might not already get it all. And those are the people I'm trying to help. Now, if you guys know everything, have thought of everything when it comes to surviving what's coming, shut me off right now. Be my guest. But I know after being in the emergency management business as a job, getting paid for doing it since 1986, I still have things to learn. And that's the truth. Yeah, I started out in Charleston, South Carolina, in emergency management, what they call the Hurricane Assistance Detail at Naval Base Charleston. Had one of these neat yellow get out of jail free cards with a red diagonal stripe through it. Said ECC, which stood for Emergency Command Center. Yeah, I was part of all that. I was there when Hurricane Hugo went through, which was a mess. But anyway, folks, I think I'd be remiss as a human being if I didn't try to get this word out. Now, I can't hold the gun to your head and make you listen, nor would I want to. Whether or not you listen is up to you. If you're the head of a household, if you got a wife and children, or you're a young lady that has children to be responsible for, please take however long this video takes. It won't be that long, but hear me out. Just in case you haven't thought of something, I will try to be quick. I get to rambling though. All right, first thing, I'm sure you're already prepping, but if you've got some things on your to-do list for prepping that you haven't already done, get them done. You don't got much time. I'm sure you know what's going on with the economy. Regardless of what the Federal Reserve says, things are not getting better for anybody. We're working on a credit collapse really, really quick. What's that mean to you personally? It means your debit card won't work, your credit cards won't work. You won't be able to put gas in your car. You won't be able to go to the grocery store without plastic. Now, just something to think about. What do you do if nothing works? Do you already have everything bought you need? If you don't, I get out there and buy it. Who knows? Long weekend. I'm not saying this will happen, but who knows? A long weekend might wake up Tuesday morning and everything's shut down. Not saying it will. I don't think it will, but it's possible. Now, another thing, and I'm not the only one saying this, take some cash out of the bank. If you got it, take out. Even if it's only a couple $100. Take it out, take it home, put it up where you don't spend it. Get it in as small bills as possible. If you can get a couple of $100 in ones and fives, that would be the way to go. Absolutely. Don't get hundreds. Comes down to the point where you have to use cash. You don't want hundreds, trust me. You'll wind up giving that whole $100 bill away for a $5 item. All they got to do is say, we don't got change. And if it's something you really need, you're going to buy it. Worthless piece of paper for something you really need. Yeah. So get as small bills as you can. If you got a mortgage and there's any way, let's say that you've got a mortgage, you got a 3% loan on it. You'd rather be paying on that than spending what you got in savings. Like I said, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. But let me put it like this. I paid my house off in 1993 and haven't made a payment since. Sure feels good. It truly feels good. So, if you only owe, if you can cover what you owe and you got it in the bank, something to think about. Not telling you do it, something to think about. If you owe property taxes like I do, try to get them paid down ASAP. Get them up to date. I'm trying my best to. But when the property taxes are $1,500 plus a year, and you're only getting $300 to $500 a month income above, what the VA pays me, which all goes to bills and groceries, you can see how hard it is to save up that $1,500. But I am trying. All right, now if you got any excess funds, in my opinion, you should very seriously look at buying silver, particularly if you got a bunch, some gold. I think you'll always be able to barter silver. Oh, backtrack just a second. Why get cash out of the bank? All the talking heads that I know, people I actually respect, believe that cash will be good for a week to 2 weeks at the most when everything crashes, when your plastic doesn't work anymore. I don't know if I said that, but that's why you need the cash. Okay. Now, gold and silver. Right now, it's incredibly underpriced. I think the last I looked, silver was like $18 an ounce and gold was only $1,700 an ounce. Tremendously underpriced. Why? Because of the paper market. The paper market is basically gold and silver derivatives, for lack of a better word. It's the only commodity that we know of that's based on derivatives. The value of the commodity is based on the derivatives instead of the derivatives being based on the value of the commodity. In other words, it's all fake. Now, you go buying silver or gold, you're going to pay a premium. Last I looked, silver was about $5 an ounce premium. I think gold was about $70 an ounce, but I haven't looked in a week or two. Don't quote me on that. Look for yourself. A couple of my favorites are JM Bullion and APMEX. JMBullion.com, APMEX.com. I've bought from both. They're both extremely dependable. I've sold the JM Bullion before, and they are Johnny on the spot. They do it all perfect. Sterling reputation. You're not going to be pissing your money away. You're not going to get stole from. So, what do you do with the silver and gold? Right now, you can't do a damn thing with it except cash it in. Try walking into Walmart with an ounce of gold, see what you can buy with it. Unless cashier's got a load of money and it's right there waiting on you, and she buys it herself and then gives you the cash back and buy whatever you want. You ain't gonna do no good with gold or silver. However, when all this plastic goes, can't be used anymore, you don't got to worry about Walmart. It's going to be shut down. You're going to be using that gold and silver at mom and pop shops, your local grocery stores, not the big chains, the independents. have only 3 or 4 stores total. People like that's where you're going to be able, hardware store. People like that where you're going to be able to use your gold and silver at. Know what it's worth. Hold that as long as you can. It might even be good to go to your local hardware store, hang around, shoot the bull with people at the counter, watch how transactions are going. Just know for yourself. For all you know, they're trading 3 eggs for a 2x4. Watch and see what happens. You don't want to go in there and offer them an ounce of silver for something you could get for a dozen eggs. You really don't want to do that. See what else is on my little list. Guys, if you live in a city, I feel for you. I truly do. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't already have a place picked out, what they call a quote, safe haven, you don't already have one picked out that you own, that you've got stocked up, even if it's Granny's house out on the farm, if you don't have something set up, I feel for you. I know some people adapt well to living in a city. I'm 60 years old and I've never enjoyed it, though I've done it. I feel nervous as can be the whole time I'm in a city. Right now, I got 50 acres and I got neighbors too close to me, in my opinion. But anyway, if nothing else, have a way out. Please don't think you're going to throw a tent in the back of your, Honda Civic, half a dozen cans of beans and a loaf of bread, and head out in the woods and you're going to survive. That ain't the way it works. I've lived in the woods pretty much all my life and I couldn't do that. Yeah, maybe for a while, depends on time of year. Sure couldn't do it in winter. You get awful sick of eating meat. You can get meat pretty easy. But you need vegetables, you need fruit. So if that's your plan, it's a bad one. Seriously reevaluate it, folks. That is not the way to go. Your absolute best setup is what I've got. A hobby farm, family to help you run it or friends. Uh, if come Tuesday morning, everything's gone to hell, I don't care. We got everything we need. We're set up. And I truly feel for the people that don't. Getting a hobby farm going is not something that you're going to do in a couple of weeks or a few months or even a couple of years. I've been on this farm for 31 years and there's still stuff I need to do. There truly is. We got a pretty good handle on most of it, but believe me, there's a lot of stuff I still need to do. All right. You got to have shelter, folks. A tent is not shelter, period. Need a building. Mobile home, yeah, sort of. RV, yeah, sort of. It'll keep you warm. If you got enough gas for it or electric for it, whatever it takes. And don't count on either after a month or so. You got to have some way of having heat in that shelter. Even if it's a room in a barn that you've blocked off with newspapers and tar paper, keep the wind out. You got to have heat. So far, the absolute best thing I know of is what I've got. It's called a rocket heater. Go to Rural Survival About Life. Look on the left-hand side in the left-hand column. Click on that link and you can read all about it. You buy one from that link, I don't get a damn thing for it, other than my normal 5% of a commission that John Moore is paid. That's my pay rate, 5% of his commissions. We usually do pretty good, but people are out of money now, so I ain't doing nothing. But anyway, it's there if you want it. I put it there for people that are looking for something like that. You can either use wood pellets in it, or you can use branches up to, I'd say about that big around. You split wood like that too. Either one or the other. I don't think you can use both at the same time. Puts out a hell of a lot of heat, even has a cook stove thing on top of it. I really like ours. Just to save electricity. That's what I make my coffee on during the winter. I got one of them. Oh, who makes it? I forgot who makes it. Anyway, it's white porcelain, not porcelain, Corningware coffee pot. Makes 8 cups at a time. Throw a couple of teaspoons full of coffee in there, set it on there. After it starts bubbling, I wait 5 or 6 minutes, pour it in my handy thermos here, if I can get a picture of it. Yeah, I can't do it. Anyway, I got a thermos. And I got coffee. I usually make 2 of them to fill up that thermos. Other thing you need is water. You can only go about 3 days without good, clean, potable water. I got a cure for that too. Again, go to ruralsurvival.life. You'll see an ad there for Water Revolution. Ready Pure water filter system. I got one. I also got the whole house system, the under sink system. That only works when you got well water coming up, or water from the county or city. But anyway, I got one of these Ready Pure units. The way it works is it has 2 bill filters in the top of it. You put 2 gallons of water in it, and in 10 or 12 hours, you've got 2 gallons of fresh drinkable water. Now, you can make with one of those, you can make 4 gallons plus a day, a 24-hour day. That's good. The minimum, they say, for each human being is 1 gallon a day. That takes care of 4 people. I got to get another one because I got 6 people in this house. But I think we do okay with one of those. Might not be too nice, but I think we do okay with just one. But anyway, folks, you want to go there. I think you get like $50 off for using that link. I get paid something, but believe me, it ain't much, $10 or something. I'm not trying to make money here. I'm trying to help you guys with stuff that I know that works that you might want. Another thing you need to think about is food. What non-perishable food do you have? How long do you go without going to the grocery store? I can go a year plus. That's for sure. Maybe longer. How have I done it? If I spent a fortune? No. Past several years, every time I go to the grocery store, when I do the shopping, I buy an extra 12 or 24 pack of vegetables, buy an extra bag of flour, an extra bag of sugar, extra bag or 2 of cornmeal, really cheap. And when I get home, I put it in Mylar bags, whatever it is, pasta, noodles, you name it. I put it in a Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber. Boy, I wish you could see this pretty old deer out in the front yard. I don't think you can, but I'm going to try to aim the camera. No, it ain't going to work, folks. Sorry. Not with this background thing I got going here. All right, folks. Sorry about the interruption. I will cut all the time. This thing was recording nothing out. I was not able to show the deer through the camera, unfortunately, even though I tried. Anyway, it was just a big crossbreed whitetail mule deer. Grass was crossbreed. It looked like it. That was a big doe. Of course, it's bow season, and I forgot completely about it being bow season. Got crossbow 3 feet away from me. All I had to do is have my grandson open the window. But it'll be back. They always are. Anyway, that was one of the other things I was going to talk about. All right, folks. Even in the city, in the suburbs, you've got squirrels. Have a Heart makes a trap about, 2.5, 3 feet long for squirrels. They're not expensive, about 30, 35 bucks a piece. It's a live trap. Folks, whether you want to even think about it, if you're city folks, you haven't ever thought about it probably. Squirrel meat's good. While you have time, look up and print out some recipes for it. Squirrel meat is good to eat. Tastes good. Right seasoning, it tastes really good. I know people that would rather have deer, or not deer, but squirrel, than they would anything else. Sorry, I keep looking outside, see if that doe come running back. Usually she'll come back 3 or 4 times. That is a ready source of food. Know what plants you can eat, what wild plants you can eat. You'd probably be surprised. Get a book that covers your area with color pictures, not black and white drawings. Get all kinds confused on that crap. You don't want to eat nightshade by accident and wind up foaming at the mouth for an hour and a half before you die with severe gut pain. You don't want that. Trust me, you don't want it. Anyway, food is a biggie. You take your dry goods, put them in Mylar with oxygen absorbers. Mylar bags are actually cheap. You don't need any of the fancy sealers. We just use a regular clothes iron. Rice, beans, flour, noodles, pancake mix. In fact, I take a whole box of pancake mix. I don't take it out of the box, shove it in a 1-gallon bag or 2-gallon bag. I think 2-gallon bags I can actually put 2 in. Throw about 900 cc's oxygen absorbers in there and seal that puppy up. Now we use those big old semi-transparent totes from Walmart to put all of our dry goods in. And we got 4 of them. Some I found out the hard way. It's easy to fill them up. Lifting that thing, on ours, you literally got to take stuff out of them to move them. And put them in a cool, dark place and basically forget about them until you need them. That's what we do on the dry goods. Canned goods, the new stuff I buy goes in the back on the shelf, the older stuff towards the front. That way we've always got fairly fresh stuff. I'm the one that takes care of that. My wife and daughter do the cooking. I do a lot of the grocery shopping. They don't complain too much after 40 plus years. And that takes care of what we need to do. I also can, with just one leg, I have a hard time getting out there and gardening, though my daughter does some, and so does my wife. For what we actually really need, though, we could do it if we had to, but I just go up to the farmer's market and I'll buy 15 pounds of green beans, a 25-pound box of tomato, 3 cases of corn, whatever that I can get cheap. And I come home and can it. I can it all. It's a cheap way of doing stuff. However, 58 cents for a 15-ounce can of vegetables, that's pretty cheap too. The only way things stay cheap when you're canning is to continue to reuse the jars. And that's the truth. Case of jars, hell, I think the jars cost you $2.50 a piece now. Where they'll come in handy is when you have a garden, when there ain't no grocery store to go to in the summertime. Sorry about blanking out there, leaning forward. In the summertime, you take all your excess and can it. Canning vegetables is easy. Also, canning meat. Now, if we got excess deer meat, which we almost always do, I can it. Yes, you can can deer meat. One of my tricks is to take a spoonful of lard and about five, or when I say spoonful, I mean like a big spoon, not like bigger than a tablespoon. I mean like a big spoon. Throw it in a pan with 10 pounds of ground deer meat, mix it all together, run it through the grinder one more time. By the way, works easier if deer meat's chilled. Comes out better for some reason. Anyway, I'll fill up a can or a jar, to within about 3/4 inches to the top. Use a pressure canner, get it up to about 13 pounds. I leave it there for about 2.5 hours. After it all cools down, I've got a ready to eat jar, quart jar of canned, what do you call it? Hamburger. I can spice it the way I like it. Once it's, jar is opened. I am known to also, when I do that, to put my own salt, pepper, and onion in it, and sometimes mushrooms. The salt and pepper add flavor to the meat when you cook it. Another one I like, just because I like the flavor of it, is one called Lawries, I think. Seasoning salt. That can replace the salt and pepper. I still like a little black pepper though. And that is really good. Now you can use this cooked hamburger and spaghetti sauce, anything like that. I've actually canned meatballs before too. Hamburger patties, I ain't figured out how to do that. I'm sure there's a way, but I ain't figured it out. Wish I could, because I love hamburgers. But anyway, just think about those things. Look at all the what ifs. I don't like living in a what if world, but when you can, all the experts are saying that we're in trouble in so many different ways. And the supply chain is breaking down big time. I look at a picture of the ships off the coast of Shanghai, I think it was. There's like 3,000 tankers and cargo ships anchored out there because of some kind of damn COVID lockdown. Silliest thing I ever heard of. Nothing's moving. We know what's going to happen with the economy. Credit's drying up. You can look at one of any millions of websites, US 10-year yield. You're going to see it bumping up a little more every day. I think it's 3.19 right now. Came down just a hair for Friday, which it usually does. Thursday was up 3.26. Folks, if you start seeing that 10-year yield going up, say, 10 basis points a day, but on a regular basis, that is when it's all over. Credit has dried up or is drying up. So pay attention to that. It only takes a second to check it. Don't worry about what stock market's doing. That don't mean nothing. Unless you got an investment in the stock market, which I hope you don't. Because when it goes, I think it's going to go all at once. Could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. So Do what you want. Anyway, folks, I hope I've helped in some way. Feel like talking to me about anything I said or disagree with me, write me comments at ruralsurvival.life. Comments at ruralsurvival.life. Write to me. If you got a question and I don't have an answer for you, I will do my best to find the answer for you. I'm usually pretty good at that. Not always, but usually. Final point, folks. The most important advice that I could give you. Get right with Jesus. I know that sounds corny, but do it. Trust me. You know, during World War II, after World War II, really, there was a study done about prisoners that were in Japanese POW camps. The prisoners that had a spiritual connection with Jesus, God the Father, I want to say they had a 4 times better survival rate than those people that were atheists or had no connection with Jesus, if I remember correctly. I think it was 4 times the survival rate. I know it was a good amount. Even if it was only twice, then that's enough. But believe me, folks, if you're not right with Jesus, when things start getting a lot worse than they are now, the rest of it don't matter. It really doesn't. Get yourself right with God the Father and Jesus. Pray daily. Pray many times a day. I do. I don't consider myself a wimp for saying that. You know, believe me, I know about life. And I know that the only answer for me is Jesus Christ. Well, folks, I'll leave it at that. I hope something I said has helped you. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. Everybody says it helps the algorithms on YouTube. Maybe it does. I don't know. But let's try it. All you do is, pick up that mouse and one time click. And I don't put out that many videos, and Rick and I try to do one once a week, but we've had some technical problems this week. So that's all for now, folks. Have a good one. I will try to have this posted up on YouTube as soon as I can, but you'll know it because then you'll hear this. So have a good one, folks. Bye-bye.